Good hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm going to be clearing Pouring Tower for you. I'm going to be doing a very beginner team because I think the master difficulty is the best to run, and this is a very beginner team that I think will work well for a lot of you newer players. It has Green Odin as either your friend's helper or your leader. It has a Gigas or pretty much any orb changers. I recommend having 2 of those. A Rainbow Keeper for a little bit of health, and then any level Lilith. I found these suds pretty easy to obtain, and just slap some on there, and gave me a good amount of HP. And you're also gonna need like any type of combo lead, so that can be a color combo lead, like such as Horus, or a combo just like Bastet, Kushinada, Anubis. So there's some variety there if you don't own like an Odin or like a Bastet or Kushinada Hime. In this case, I'm using Bastet as my friend's helper. But if you don't have that, maybe you can use like a Horus or something like that. So yeah. As far as strategy for the dungeon goes, you're just gonna want to, in my case, combo as much as you can. And in the other case of like a color, just match your orbs as much as you could. As weird as it sounds, I actually tried to match orbs kind of averagely, in case some of you who are newer to the game can only combo so high. I just wanted to show that this team will work even if you don't necessarily have the combo skills of a more experienced player. I mean, a couple times I couldn't help myself, but I did my best. Anyway, I want to go into exactly why this dungeon is important, especially for those of you who are newer to the game. This is a dungeon that I really wish I had actually known the importance of when I started out as a Puzzle & Dragons player. And the reason being, it has tons of skill-up monsters. So the little blobs you see on screen, I'm not sure if I've run across one quite yet. There's one right there. It's a light one. That one skills up Valkyrie. So all of these little blobs, they're going to skill up Heartbreakers. So on screen I have 2 of them actually. I have Gigas and I have Siegfried. Both can be skilled up from this dungeon. So you're going to have the blue drops, or blobs, whatever you want to call them. You have a green, you have a yellow, you also have a dark, it's a ghost string, and that skills up Lilith, actually, which is very, very useful. If you run the lower difficulties, you will see that they also drop, like, big bubblies and stuff like that, so if you need to get your hands on one of those, for a certain spike team or something like that, you can definitely get those there. And then on the final boss drops the actual mastering. Sorry about that message right there. That's why I use nicknames, just in case that happens. Most of the time I actually like disable the notifications, but I forgot, so sorry about that. That's why I put nicknames. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This dungeon is beyond useful. I mean, you can run the lower difficulties if you don't have as much stamina, but you're not going to get the drop rates that you will on the higher difficulties. I'm running the highest one just to show you that this team is very capable, and you're going to get a pretty good amount of drops on this stage, as you can see here. This is the green blob, which will skill up Kuchulin. So I'm going to go through and name exactly what blobs skill up what monsters. So as I said, the light one does Valkyrie. She's a very useful healer. The blue one will do Siegfried. The green one will do Kuchulin. And the dark one will do Lilith. So, yeah. This is something that I recommend you guys actually start pursuing. In the beginning of the game, skill ups aren't really something that you're thinking about. But this is one of the chances you're going to have to kind of get ahead. These monsters are very, very useful to skill up, especially if you use like a Ra, a Kirin, Umisachi, Yamasachi, any of those like high color leads that you're going to need orbs for, and let's say you don't have them on screen. If these babies are max skilled, you can just click that real quick, get the orbs you need, and, you know, clear whatever stage you need to do in later descents. This is something that could really, really help you out. This is something that a lot of players overlook, and this is something even a lot of YouTubers overlook, and I'm surprised there really isn't a video explaining why this dungeon is so important to even your beginning Puzzle & Dragons career. This dungeon doesn't give the best XP, but that's okay. I mean, that's not really the main reason you're running it. And yeah, I mean, having these orb changers max skilled has saved me on multiple different descends, you know, where I've needed those colors, and I mean, it saved me multiple times. Another kind of interesting thing is these little drops or blobs are actually enhanced material, which is kind of interesting. You never really would have thought that, but they actually are. So, I mean, if you have max healed one of your monsters and you don't need any more and you have some extra, feed those to something that you actually need to level up, and they'll do a pretty good job compared to just normal trash monsters that you fuse away. This run is taking a long time. I'm very sorry about that. The reason really is because we're using a green Odin helper to resist damage. On this difficulty, the blobs actually do a lot of damage. As cute and tiny as they may seem, they do a lot of damage, so it's something that you do need to look out for. That's why I bring Odin. He will resist some of that damage on those guys, as well as the final stage mastering, so yeah, definitely recommend doing that. But the reason it's so slow is because since I'm only using one Bastet, I'm only getting like 3 times damage or 4 times damage, so that is why it is taking a little bit of time. Sorry about that, but for those of you who are new, I think this will really help you out to clear this dungeon. And hopefully the importance of the dungeon was known to you now. It's really weird how certain things get overlooked when they're really, really important, actually. So this was one of those that I was like, you know what, I should just make a video on this real quick. For those of you who are a little bit higher level and still haven't done this, you definitely don't need to run this team, of course. You can run your normal burst team, burst through these floors really, really quick, and won't even have to worry. I still run this dungeon, actually, just to skill up Lilith, just because she is actually pretty useful to skill up. All of the monsters that you can get skill up monsters from in this dungeon are actually really, really helpful to any situation. The Devil Lilith, you know, her burst, and just plenty of stuff. So another thing that can randomly invade in this dungeon is the Angeling. It skills up, I believe, yeah, Hino. So that's useful because he does burst bomb, which makes the enemy's defense plummet for 2 turns, and that's a 75% defense decrease, so very useful. It is a random invade, so you're not going to get it every single time, but it's a little bonus if you do get him. I don't believe he hits too hard compared to everything else. I mean, he hits 6k, but all the other blobs, they also do a good amount of damage. I know the green drop does 6k, the blue one does 3k. Oh no, that's the wrong difficulty. I'm sorry. I think they're all the same though. Yeah, it's the same. Anyway, they can do a lot of damage to you, so you do want to be careful of that. I'm sorry, I was looking at the expert difficulty, but on master, the Angeling will do about 8k to your monster, so be careful about that. But if you are running this team, you shouldn't have too big of a problem because you're going to have Odin for that resist. But yeah, on this boss, what I'd recommend to speed up if you're using this team is pop like some of your orb changers. Like as you can see there, I popped my Siegfried to make some blue orbs, and later on I'll use my Gigas one a few times. Don't worry, this is my main account, but these are just extra monsters that were lower level that I just kind of slapped on there. Don't worry, I do have, you know, the ultimate evolutions for all this stuff. Do keep in mind, like, my Lilith is ultimate evolutioned, but you're not going to need that. Same with actually Odin. I mean, it's going to help because you're going to get those stats and whatnot when he's evolved, but he's going to have the same leader skill, same everything. If you guys do try out this dungeon, make sure you let me know how it went for you, because or if there's any improvements I need to make, like maybe in a later video about this dungeon. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as this dungeon goes. I did want to announce a few more things about new series. I've decided I will pursue the Let's Play idea. Someone commented on my last video saying, dude, you know, not everybody does play on the US version, and don't worry, I didn't forget about you guys, but I do feel like the majority of those of you watching are probably US viewers, so sorry if I offended anybody by that little comment, but I think I will pursue making the Europe version of Puzzle and Dragons on my iPhone and starting up a little Let's Play for you, but that might be a little bit later on because I do want to do that during a Godfest, therefore allowing my chances of getting a better reroll. I'll explain, you know, all the mechanics of rerolling and getting a good lead when the time does come, but I hope you guys are excited for that series because it's something that I've actually wanted to do ever since I did start making, or even thinking about making Puzzle and Dragons videos. I think it'll be really cool, especially for those of you who are beginners, to see how an experienced player will start from, you know, level 6 to going to, you know, level 200 or wherever I do get to. But don't worry, even when that series comes out, I'm still going to be making normal content such as this. All kinds of variety of videos. I'm going to try and get, you know, as I said, like a more regular schedule, maybe daily or every other day. Hopefully you guys are excited that there's 2 videos in a row, or 2 days in a row, I should say. So yeah, thank you for all your support on the last few videos. I've enjoyed reading all the comments and suggestions. Yeah. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You should definitely like the video if you found it helpful. And yeah, as we finish up this boss stage, dwindling down his health. He does have a good amount of health, so you're gonna, especially if you're running this team with your low multiplier, you're gonna have to hit him a good amount of times. Might make an S rank guide for this dungeon as well. If you don't know what an S rank is, it's basically you complete certain requirements for a dungeon, therefore allowing you to get a free Tamadra. So I might do that for this dungeon. Not really sure. It depends on if I have any other ideas as far as videos goes. But this should be the final combo, I believe, and it is. No drop this time, but that's okay. It's not a guaranteed drop on any of the difficulties, unfortunately. As you can see here, Pouring Master and 9,000 XP, not the best, but not the worst. For a 50 stamina dungeon, not the best. Here's the team. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.